at some point you have to ask yourself, does my way work? Why am I unwilling to change? And why am I allowing these specific habits to have control over me? Because either you're in control or those things are in control. Whatever it is that you're struggling with is in control. So you're allowing it. You're allowing the food to control you. You're allowing the shopping to control you. These are things that you're doing to yourself. And until you get honest with yourself about those habits and take a really good look at yourself, they're not going to change. It's so much harder to let go of things than it is to start those things. This is why when you have accumulated so much stuff over the years, why is it so hard to let go of those things that you've accumulated? It's like they become so meaningful and you become attached to them, and you think you're going to miss out if you let those items go, but you're not. That's the thing. You're worried about what's going to happen if I let that go. What if I need it? But you're going to be fine. On the other side of letting go is freedom. It's liberation. And so God wants to take you from glory to glory. He wants to take you on these mountaintops, but you have to pass the test, and you got to be willing to let go of the old that you're hanging on to. Sometimes things work for a season. It may have worked for a season, or it was a period of time, but it's not meant to be a lifetime of that season, or to turn that short season into a lifetime. These things are meant to learn, grow, and move on. It's all about continuing to move, continuing to grow, learn, develop, and enlarge your territory. That's what God wants us to do. He wants us to multiply, enlarge our territory, have dominion over the earth, and produce good fruit. So it's really hard to do that if we're stuck in a season that is past. It's like lingering in the old, even though it's gone, it's done. You have to be the one to stop tolerating the habits that are producing results that you don't want. Let me say that one more time. If you are continuing to engage in habits and patterns knowingly that they're giving you a result that you don't want, a feeling of distress, destruction, you're not feeling empowered, you feel out of control, it's chaos, anxiety, well, go back to what's causing that, because you're taking the action in those habits. Like, you're doing something. It's not doing it to you. It's not just happening on its own. You're doing it. So for example, if you have a shopping addiction or you're constantly consuming, and you're not stopping to take a good look at how much you're consuming or how much you keep bringing into your home, then you have to get back to the beginning of what's causing that. Why are you doing that? You could have been raised maybe poor, maybe you didn't have enough, and now you're feeling like, well, I deserve this. I'm going to buy it. If she can have it, I can have it. A lot of times that's exactly what it is. It's, well, they have it, I can have it, and I can have it better. In fact, I'm going to buy 2 of the same thing that person has. It's like it's an ego thing. It's pride and it's ego. What happens is that we get stuck in this cycle because it's so hard to break those habits. But yet at the end of the day, when it's just you and your credit card bills, or you and all the receipts from everything you bought, how are you feeling when no one else is around and no one else is looking? What does that look like? How are you feeling when you're surrounded by stuff and your closets are packed and you're in a cluttered, garage or room that's feeling suffocated because every drawer is packed and there's stuff everywhere? How are you feeling? That's the truth. So you can't avoid the truth. The truth is the highest form of reality. The highest form of reality is the truth. You got to start there. What is the truth that my habits are causing? And, you can justify it however you want. You might have reasons. Maybe you did have a hard childhood. Maybe you were poor. Those are all reasons. But at some point, you have to stop using them and turning them into an excuse. You have to stop justifying the bad habits and really wake up and say, you know what, I'm just not going to live this way anymore. I'm not tolerating it anymore. Anytime you tolerate things, you're not willing to change it. You have to get to the point where you're almost in disgust by it. Once you reach that point of disgust, you're not going to tolerate it anymore. You are going to be, you're disgusted. Use that as a creative state to move you forward and to take better actions. And it is hard to get out of our own way sometimes, like we're the problem. And when you get stuck in your ways for years, it's hard to break those habits. I mean, it's very hard because you're almost fighting with yourself. It's the comfort of the past. It's, your subconscious is going to tell you, no, this is you. This is you. It's going to keep reaffirming what you've always done. And it's going to feel good. It's going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel right. This feels right. This is what we've always done. And then when you try to change, it's so uncomfortable. Like, this feels weird. This feels odd. I don't know about this. You're second guessing. You're doubting. You're like, well, maybe I'll just go back to what I did. It worked. I was fine. Things were fine. I'm just going to, so you have to almost embrace that uncomfortableness and embrace, because you got to break past that. It's called a terror barrier. It's like you reach that and you're like, ooh, I'm going to go back. No, you have to push through, because the results that you want, that new life that you want, is on the other side of that. It's right there waiting for you. And we oftentimes make it so hard, and it's really not that hard. It's not that difficult once the decision's been made, because once you make that firm decision, you move into action, and then you just keep taking action a day at a time. And that action could look different for everybody depending on what it is you're going through. But take, for example, your house. Okay, you're taking a really good look at what you have accumulated in your house. Start by making piles of maybe what you don't really love. These are things that you're like, I could let go of this. I don't love it. I bought it because it was a good deal. I'm ready to let go of this. Then start with things that you're like, I kind of like this, but you don't love it, and start making categories. And once you categorize it and you have, somewhat sorted out, take the stuff that you don't love and load it up in your cart and get it out of there. Get it out of your sight. Get it out of the house. Don't second guess. Don't look at yourself. Don't look at it. And if there's the stuff that's the maybe pile, find someone maybe to go through it with you, because normally when you have to ask yourself, should I keep this? The answer is always no. Because if you have to question it, you don't love it. You're not going to question that on something that you absolutely love. Like, oh no, I love this. The things that you love, And what happens is when you let go of everything that you don't love, you're left with what you do love. So it's really just a decision. Clutter is an indecision. That's all it is. It's indecision. You're either in on that life of consuming and clutter and feeling suffocated, or you're ready to make a change. You're either in or you're out. You got to make a decision and you got to move. And you can do it in a short period of time. You could take a year to do it. It's up to you. It's really up to you. It's, again, you have to be the one in control, and you have to be the one who's willing to let go of the things of the past. Let go. Learn to let go instead of adding more in, and be honest with yourself as you're going through the process. Be willing to make those changes, and you're probably going to feel a little bit of emotion as you're going through it, because we have emotional attachments. It's a profound process when you're letting go, especially if you're changing your life after years of living a certain way. I mean, it is like, what am I doing? But you know what? It's liberating. It's not that it's scary. It's liberating. You're learning something new. Anytime you're learning something new, it's a little bit different. But you have life to live, and you can't live it when you're just consuming everything, consuming TV watching, consuming binge watching Netflix, consuming things. You're scrolling to see what else you could buy, what else is going to fulfill you. How many outfits in your closet have tags? How many things in your closet you think you're going to wear, but you don't, because you're saving them for a great time. Meanwhile, you're wearing all of this old stuff. You're saving the good stuff, but wearing the old stuff. Wear the good stuff and get rid of the old stuff. Put on something nice, build your self-image up a little bit, and then what'll happen is you'll start making decisions based on that self-image. So getting it in control is such a key. Getting the clutter in control, getting your home in order is such a key thing to living a healthy lifestyle. It's really, really important. It really comes down to the years are passing. Time passes. Time waits for no one. You do not know how much time you have on this earth. And whatever it is you're doing, you're trading your time for. You're trading your life for. You're literally trading life for whatever it is you're doing. And once that day's gone, it's gone. So this is an opportunity to say, halt. You can't change the past. You can't go back and change stuff. So don't live in regret over what was. Don't hold on to things of what was. The past is in your imagination, just as the future is. It literally only exists in your imagination. But it becomes so real to us that we get stuck there, and then we trade our present time for something that had already happened that you can't change. But what you can do is you can change the future. You can bring that future self that you want to be to the present now, so you can learn how to experience that now. Like experiencing the freedom and that life that maybe you're yearning for, maybe that deep down you're dreaming of that. You can experience that now by the choices that you make now. It doesn't have to be 10 years down the road or like, you know what, I'm never going to experience that. It's too far-fetched. That's something that you can do right where you're at with the decisions that you make today. So start with your home. Start with a cleanse, a declutter, a purge. These are things that you can do. Anybody can do. And it's a really easy, tangible way to start building some momentum and start feeling that power back. You are the one in control. Don't let these things have power over you. That's such a key thing, is don't be under the foot of all of these things. When you're under the weight of credit card debt, you're under their foot. They are controlling you because now you have to work to pay off more than what you borrowed. And I did this for years. Buy a vase. The vase is on sale, 20% off. Okay, but you're paying 32% interest on it. And you're not paying it off right away. So it's compounding, and now you're paying triple what that actual vase was. Was it worth it? Was it worth to look at that and know that you just had to pay a week's salary to pay for that one item? You have to measure things in a practical, logical way, and you got to take the emotion out of it. Don't get upset and get be offended or feel like you're being judged or this or that or somebody's coming after you. Just step outside of that for a second and take a really logical, clear look at it and say, is this something that is producing good fruit in my life? Do I have an issue in this area? And maybe you don't have an issue in this area, and this video is not for you. Maybe you know somebody that does, and they really need that eye opener, and they really need to wake up and let some of these things go and get honest with themselves. So I'm talking about this because I had a really strong attachment, really big issue, and I know a lot of women do. I have a lot of women that reach out to me that are going through similar things, and it's so hard to break out of, and I want to let you know that you can do it. I'm rooting for you to have a life of freedom and a life of peace and liberation, and you can do it. Like, get going, get that zeal, get that fire, get moving. Your life, your glorious future is awaiting you.